That'll be the smallest one we kill.
Huh. Deal.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That'll be the smallest mule deer. So.
All right. So 160-inch
yeah,
mule deer.
more than willing to be the guinea pig.
Yeah.
For the smallest mule deer.
Yeah. Yeah, 160-inch muley. Yeah, whatever. There's no sense of getting too carried away. Gotta quit smoking, bro.
I know, I was thinking about it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Obsession. I'm Karl Befke.
I'm Mike Sadler.
How you doing today, Mike?
Very good. Very good. Thanks for asking.
That's good. Couple weeks chasing muleys, antelope. Tell you what.
That sounds time.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. And that'll be September, Mike.
I got deer moving right now.
You got deer moving?
Yeah.
Let's stab the ranch. Oh, look at that.
Those all walking around there.
Yeah, 150 degrees out there. Yeah. Hey, that's a pretty green food plot.
It is pretty nice.
You should check it out.
See, can you see that? No,
nah, it's anyhow, that'll be September. How about we talk about the do's and don'ts for hunting in September? We're going to talk about actually hunting Midwest whitetails, do's and don'ts in September. So, obviously September here in Wisconsin, it can be really warm or a little bit cooler. Fall's starting to kind of come in. Number one do is any big cold front you're going to want to hunt for sure, right?
Yeah, if you can get them.
If we get them. But what's a cold front? Let's talk about what we consider a cold front, what some people might not consider a cold front. So basically a 7 degree
shift.
temperature change.
Not much.
Nope.
But it's enough to affect whitetail movement for sure.
And we've noticed this over the years with documenting everything that we do. Especially the early season of things. Say it's 85 degrees out, and the very next day it's going to be 75. That's a cold front.
Yep.
Early season. That's a definite hunt for us. Now, whether or not we choose to try and chase a buck or a doe, 9 times out of 10 early season for us is doe hunting.
Yep.
It's when we decide we want to take our does off the property anyway.
Yep. You got to know the front and the back of the fronts also.
So
the front and the back of the fronts.
The front and the back of the front, right? So basically the time of the change. So like if the change is at 9 p.m. and you didn't hunt that evening, you missed it because
it's already done.
Yeah. If you go for a morning hunt the next day, you're what? 3, 6, 9 to 10 hours after the change?
Behind it, yeah.
Yep. So it's not going to affect the deer movement that much. That's important.
Yeah. So what we're saying is say it's 85 degrees and it's going to drop to 75 degrees the next day.
Yep.
So you're going to hunt that night.
Correct.
That's what we're saying. And don't wait till the next day when it's cool, which would be a lot nicer because it's cool.
Yep.
But the temperature change has already happened, so the deer movement has already changed before that.
Yep. And don't be that you're gonna, well, it goes to 75 every night if it's 85 degrees out. Yeah, okay, we get it. But you're gonna talk about barometric timing and all of that too. So pressure changes. So pressure change is important to us. We like that above 30 number. Right?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yep.
30 is nice.
30 is nice. If the temperature is changing, then and people talk about the barometric pressure change from high to low and low to high. When that barometric pressure change is coming, you can go on Weather Underground and see the time where the pressure changing is. The transition change from whatever it is to wherever it's going is the time you want to be hunting. And closest to that. So, something to keep in.
Most of the fronts that we hunt to when we're talking, we're not just talking temperature change, we're talking usually it's rain.
Yeah.
Rain coming or going is usually something like that. That's the more of the fronts we like to hunt.
Yep.
Because that is a big shift for whitetails. Not just like Karl said, yes, the temperature does drop at night. But like he said, the barometric pressure doesn't always change.
Correct.
When that changes drastically and you have the temperature drop, that's what we're talking about.
Yes. So pay close attention to that. Another do is, if for some reason you've got a buck that's patternable or already patterned, where you've taken the time and patterned that deer where he's coming to food, trying to get into that transition, or you got a transition location for that deer, yeah, that's when you want to go and hunt them. Because early season, first 2 weeks of bow season is a great time to shoot big deer. If you've got one pattern, which is hard to do sometimes.
Right.
We've shot a few early. Majority of our deer come in later October, pre-rut time period. But those bucks that were patternable early, we have killed a few. The 5th day of bow season's been good for me. I've got probably 4 or 5 different deer that I've shot over that time period. And that's basically due to them still being in an early pattern where they're not being pressured, and I can get in on them. Don't be afraid to do that. We should probably talk number 1. Let's talk don'ts.
Don't push into stands that you normally aren't in.
Right.
Until late. We always say, we always have stands set up that we don't touch ever until late October. So, our rut stands, whatever you want to call them, don't go into them just because they're a good spot normally. That's something you want to stay out of. You're just going to wreck it, really.
Yeah.
Don't ever do that.
Yeah. If you push it too much, you're going to educate the deer, you're going to blow it out. You could just push one, if you've got your own property, you could just push the buck completely off your property and never even get a chance to him, or push him to your neighbors and your neighbor shoots him. You can have that.
Right.
The other aspect of that is it's always smarter to work edges, I think, early for us, just because we don't want to educate our deer on private property. If you're hunting public, you want to be as unpatternable as the deer you're hunting, because hunters are going to pattern you. Any good public land hunters pattern the hunters that are actually around too. So you got to watch for that if you're going to be hunting public lands. Don't stop shooting your bow. Make sure you keep practicing. You don't have to shoot 50 arrows a day or something like that. But
shoot an arrow a day?
Yeah, just 1, 2 arrows a day. Just whether you do it in the morning or whatever, I think you get back from the gym and shoot or something like that.
Yeah, usually throw a few.
On an off day when you're not hunting, feel free to go up, pump a couple arrows into the target too. Make sure you check your equipment all the time. Don't ever not check your equipment before you go on a hunt.
Yeah. Less is more in September.
Yeah.
That's what we like to say.
It's true.
It's my favorite saying. Less is more. So, don't push things. Don't push it when it's hot. We always say, don't think you need to be in a stand just to be in a stand.
Yeah.
You can do yourself more favor by, maybe it's a place you hunt where you can sit back on the road and you can glass it.
Yep.
Just watch it that way. You're doing yourself a lot more service that way than trying to tromp out into a stand, when it's 90 degrees and you have a horrible wind, but you think, God, I got to be in a stand.
Yeah.
So those are things we do, or we sit way outside it. We sit in blinds that we sit in that are set up for people to gun hunt.
Yep.
And we just watch, or we film, or
right.
But yeah, do we have a bow? Of course we have a bow.
Right. You never know when something might come by.
Always have your bow with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's.
Here's another big don't that I see a lot of people make this mistake, Mike. Don't be going and checking your trail cameras every week. If you don't have, like myself, I don't have cell cams on my property because I can't get a signal up where I'm at. Don't go changing the chips every week, bombing into some of the locations. You're just doing nothing but putting human stink in the
I like to take my wheeler.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't want to walk.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't be that person that thinks that a wheeler doesn't affect the deer. Well, they just sit there and watch me.
Yeah, leave the chip. We check chips on Karl's as we're going in and out of stands. That's when we change them. That's the only time we change them now.
Yep.
You know, so you don't need that little bit of intel. Ain't gonna probably tell you anything right now.
No.
So
some of the video you guys see, one camera in particular, some of the video you guys see on the show is actually in a bedding area, okay, and it's on video because I want to get the video, but I don't check that chip all year, and that sounds stupid, right? I put a camera in there, and what I'm doing is I'm gaining intel for the following. Documenting that, like, okay, well, heck, October 15th through the 18th, I get a lot of deer movement, my big deer, in that bedding area. So what's that tell me? Well, heck, the first doe comes into estrus on my property October 15th to the 18th.
yeah.
So if the weather's right, and I've got an opportunity to hunt an edge where I think a buck may be moving, that's probably a pretty good time to be in there. That's what I gained from that camera. Otherwise, I don't check that camera all dang year.
Right.
You know, it might sound stupid to people, but it helps you educate yourself for the future. So,
Yeah, I would say too, one other thing, if you're lucky enough to take a buck early, you know, that first week or two, don't stop going out and seeing what's going on in your area.
No.
You know, over the year.
Yep.
Or if you still have doe tag or something like that, it's a great opportunity to watch what happens late.
Yeah.
You know, and to watch probably an even bigger buck run right by you, because that's normally what happens.
Yeah. But you know, be vigilant on educating yourself for the future.
Because you're done in September. I mean, you got all till next year now to wait. So,
remember that, Scott.
Yeah.
Just saying. And again, he's gonna bury a giant first week.
Yeah, gotta be done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a good time to see what happens, especially if you're not in there a lot when that pre-rut and rut comes, because some of the year you're going to be.
Yeah.
And you know, it might help you, you know, a year or two down the road. Like, yeah, I remember that one year I sat down here and I watched this and this and this and this. Kind of make you, you know, to make a decision for yourself on how to get another buck later.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Never stop educating yourself, you guys, when it comes to that. But that's kind of our simple do's and don'ts for September, I think. We appreciate you guys listening. Thanks for watching The Obsession. If you guys have got any comments or some of the do's and don'ts that you actually use, go ahead and put them right down here in the comment here on YouTube. We'd appreciate that. If you want to listen to the podcast, all the questions and answers we give for people on the podcast, you can check that out at Google, iHeart, Apple, Amazon,
Spotify, RSS.com,
and then watch our pretty faces right here
watch
on
us
YouTube.
on YouTube.
We appreciate each and every one of you. If you want to subscribe, hit the Reaper in the lower right-hand corner.
Yeah. Could be free goodies in you later.
Right on.
Later.